Thank you very much. I'm pleased to announce today that we have reached an agreement with Coach Mike Leach to extend his contract through the year 2013. I respect Mike and all that he's done for Texas Tech football. Thanks to him, we have sold-out games and national rankings, and we're very proud of Mike. I've always said that Mike Leach was a great fit for Texas Tech, and I think he fits us well, and we like him, and we like for him to be here. I also appreciate the job that Gerald Myers has done in managing all 17 of our athletic programs. And, you know, I'll just say this, no one loves Texas Tech more or given more of their life to Texas Tech than Gerald Myers. And it's my pleasure at this time to introduce our athletic director, Coach Gerald Myers.
And it's really good to get it behind us. I know a lot of you sitting out there said we wouldn't get it done, but it's done. We're pleased. I think Mike is pleased with it. I think everybody concerned is pleased with the agreement that we have in place. And I want to say this. I said this in the beginning of the negotiations, that I wanted Mike to be our coach. Now, I think that got lost with all the rhetoric and speculation and everything else through the process. But I've never wavered on that point. I wanted him to be our coach. And I'm excited about our football team, about our players. I see them working hard every day. I mean, they're working just as hard right now as they did back in August when they started. And I'm excited about our team, and I'm looking forward to another exciting year of Texas Tech football.
I want to thank Chancellor Hance with his leadership. I don't know that this contract would have gotten done, and so I really appreciate his efforts in ultimately bringing this entire thing together. And I want to thank Coach Myers for his help and support, you know, with regard to that and his leadership in the athletic department. Me and my family are thrilled to death that that we're going to be in Lubbock, you know, for another 5 years, and you know, because it's become a part of our family. And you know, at the rate that I get folks saying, well, we just don't know if you like Lubbock, it's like, I don't know how we can get rooted in here any deeper than we already are. So I've decided that rather than mess with that, I'm going to say I love Lubbock every single press conference. And so our family all loves Lubbock, and I appreciate Chancellor Hance and Gerald's efforts to allow us to stay here and the opportunity to be your coach for the Red Raiders for what I hope is many years to come. And as I've said for some time, I'm thrilled about this season. We've got a group that you know, there's not all these you know, this guy's a star, that guy's a star. All really highly motivated, work really hard, and every time you check on them, everybody's doing things right. So it's kind of scaring me right now. So I don't know if you know, which pipe will burst or if one will. But we're excited about the season. Can't wait for spring. And with regard to all of this, I mean, there's a lot of people involved that make Texas Tech and make football, and it you know, it starts with our fans and their spirit and their support. And so you know, I'm thankful to all those people.
I think probably the big question will be, you know, what about the 4 areas that there was a disagreement, and taking those 4, one on the issue of approval to interview another school. We changed that to notification, and that Gerald said that's all he wants, and that's all I wanted, and Mike said that was great with him. We also, on the marketing part of it, I think that we didn't explain that well enough, and that was a little vague and confusing to the general public as well as to Mike. We just went back to the old agreement. The main thing we're trying to do is that last year we felt like that Mike was not marketed as well as he should have been, and that that's something. We've got a new marketing group coming in, and that we plan to market him, and we think that as a Red Raider and all kinds of potential out there, from additional Red Raiders to Pirates, that we plan to market him. And he said that'd be great with him, and so we agreed on that. There really wasn't any disagreement on that. We've never wanted to book rights or movie rights. I might want a walk-on part in the movie, but we reached agreement on that without any problems. The other two provisions had to do with a buyout and had to do with termination. And the termination, we had proposed $300,000 a year for the number of years left, and that they had proposed 40%. And we reached a deal today at $400,000 a year for the number of years left. And that on the buyout, for him to go to another school, a buyout, after talking to him and everything, I'm convinced that Mike, this is a 5-year contract, but he wants to be here a lot more than 5 years. And if he didn't want to be here, why should we penalize him if he wanted to leave? And so I just said, we'll just make that 0 on the buyout. And so there's certainly no buyout in there because I know he's not leaving. And Mike likes us. We like Mike. And this was kind of an unusual situation. People may say, well, there were some disagreements. We care deeply about Texas Tech. And we all have issues we have to look after. And I think that pretty well sums it up on those issues. And that we're happy about it. And we shook hands and had a good visit. One thing in particular that this was my first time to visit with Mike and negotiate, just the two of us. And his friend and attorney, a prominent Lubbock attorney, Ted Liggett, talked to me last week and said, y'all ought to talk. And I said, we'd be glad to, but I was tied up on Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday with some really critical issues for Texas Tech and our funding. I know this is an important issue, and the budget of $1.5 billion doesn't make this kind of news coverage, but it is. That's my top priority, and Mike understands that. Anyway, I called Mike last night after I got back and left a voicemail, and then he called back, and I missed him, and we called again this morning, and finally got together, and he came by at 1 o'clock, and I would say that the negotiating was, we had a long meeting, but the negotiating part was probably 10, 15 minutes at the most.
Yeah. Yeah, I think everybody was excited about, Tech's first. That's what was most important to everybody. And I think everybody was excited about, just how can we best keep our forces together and maximize our efforts towards making Texas Tech as good a university as possible for our students, fans, and alumni. And so I think after that, it pretty well took care of itself.
You feel like a lot of this could have been avoided if you guys would have met up maybe a couple months ago, or a lot of this could have been avoided?
Well, I'm happy we've got it done, and I'm not going to speculate and second guess anything that I decided, or Gerald, or Mike, or agents, or anyone else. I mean, hey, look, we're doing great. And I love Texas Tech, and Mike and Gerald love Texas Tech, and we've got a lot of great fans. I heard from some of them. And I think it reminded me back my years in politics. They're a lot more vociferous after about 10 or 11 o'clock at night, and their spelling's not as well on their emails the later it goes. But, I think the thing to do is move forward, and I don't want to look backwards and second guess anyone. Thank you all very much, and we appreciate you coming out. And if we get our budget signed this year by the governor and everything, I expect each and every one of you to come back. Don't you, Mike?
I expect them to. Yeah, now you're in the habit of showing up to stuff, so we'll be good to go.
Mike, have you signed it yet?
Yes.
We had, one of the things, Mike's got a great sense of humor, and we had, I told him, I said, Mike, it's 4th and long. He said, I go for it lots. And I said, you don't want to get sacked, though. And he laughed, and I laughed, and we kind of had a good visit. And Mike's a good guy, and I'm glad he's our coach, and I appreciate him. I appreciate Gerald and our fan base. And we're concentrating now on the 09 season. And I tell you, it'll be another exciting season. And I still think that we've seen the touchdown with Crabtree's touchdown. I've seen that on TV more than any other play that I can remember in the history of college football. It ranks right up there with Doug Flutie's play against Miami. And so with that, we're adjourned. And
just to clarify, is it the $12.7 million?
Right.
One other clarification. I'm assuming the Board of Regents still going to, that meeting's done?
We call that meeting off. There's, yes.
With some of the animosity that came out that was expressed by both sides, how do y'all get past that now?
Well, I think it's pretty easy to get past it. Mike never said anything bad about me or Gerald, and we didn't say anything bad about him. And that, you know, that's one thing Mike and I talked about before we talked about specifics. I said, look, you know, can we move forward on this? And he said, absolutely. And I said, that's the most important thing. If we reach a deal, can we move forward and concentrate on the future? And he said, absolutely, and that there was no problem working with me or Coach Myers or anyone else. And we feel the same way.
It'll help a great deal. We had the best recruiting class that we've had since I've been here this year. And then, you know, now we're starting to work on the next year's class as well. And then, you know, one positive byproduct, you know, a whole lot of people are excited about Texas Tech, you know, based on last season. And so we have, you know, plenty of recruits that we're riding to and the rest. So you know, I always think the next year's the best one, but the, you know, we had a great recruiting year this year, and I truly believe we'll have a better one next year.
It was just you two today? It was no agents, no athletic director or anything like that negotiating today?
Just us two.
Okay, thank you.
Thank y'all.
All right. All right, good job.
All right, thanks.
Good job.
Appreciate it.
All right.